All right. Can everybody hear me this afternoon? Let's check. All right. So, welcome to the stream. This is NXT Takeover San Antonio prediction video. And I'm doing this to, set my standard high about where I want to make my channel go during this year of 2017 by putting out more wrestling-related videos and more different types of videos throughout the year. And this starts off with this pay-per-view, this event. NXT has been a premier show as of late, with tons of great matchups, tons of great main events. This card, however, is not the most appealing in multiple different fashions, due to the fact that they only have 5 matches announced for this card, and it's not really a huge hype or huge propaganda for the event itself. I'm not too excited for the pay-per-view, to tell you the truth, but to be totally honest with myself, I'm excited for some of these predicaments that are about to be unfolded in front of us this coming up weekend. This card, however, crazy cool. It's working. All right, so I'm going to start from the bottom of the card, work my way straight to the top to the main event. So the main stage, the thing that why people watch. So kicking off NXT Takeover San Antonio will be Roderick Strong, the former Ring of Honor World Champion and Television Champion, and a new acquisition to the NXT product, taking on Cien. Cien is a fantastic performer. Cien's a fantastic, gifted athlete from Mexico promotions such as AAA and others. And he really hasn't thrived within the community of professional wrestling in the WWE. He was a babyface for a little while, then he turned heel, and then his heel run has been lackluster as well as his babyface run, but he's unpredictable now. You don't really know what he's going to do or how he's going to do it. This match is probably going to be good. I'm not really expecting it to be a 5-star candidate or match of the year candidate when it's all said and done. But I do see them continuously pushing Roderick Strong. Now, I think if Austin Aries wouldn't have got injured, he wouldn't have got hurt, those two would have been one of the front candidates to, possibly taking on the Revival or possibly getting a tag team title opportunity. But right now, we have Roderick Strong and Cien at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. So I'm going to go with Roderick Strong. I think Roderick Strong is going to continue with his offense and what he's been given, and I think he's going to do great things in NXT with his fantastic stamina and fantastic ability in the ring. He's a great athlete overall, and I predict that he's going to win with the sick kick or even his big backbreaker maneuver that he uses so well to conquer and develop foes into jobbers. So Roderick Strong over Cien is my first prediction of the night. So my second, we have Eric Young representing the Sanity Group, which they're pretty decent. They got a heavy hitter in the former Big Damo. They have a well-developed group, and Eric Young is going to take on a guy that he actually offered to be in the group, Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger has been on a roll. He's been rampant. He's been a very popular character in NXT, especially after his matches with Bobby Roode. He's a character that people want to cherish. He's a character that people want to cheer for. He's a character that people want to, root for, and they want him to be on the main roster with his 10-10-10 gimmick that is so over and well developed, as is what he's done in the NXT rankings. This match right here is actually going to, in my personal opinion, this match has the probability of stealing the show, and I'll get to the rest of the matches, but I think this match right here has the probability to be far better than some of the other matches. You have two superior athletes going at it, and not really for a championship, but for bragging rights. And Ty Dillinger has been sort of on a losing streak, but he is one of the hottest players in NXT. And as a losing streak hurts someone when they are necessarily not doing the best, it can stop somebody's momentum dead in its tracks. But at the same time, Eric Young is the leader of Sanity, and he needs a victory to establish himself and establish his tag team faction-like group as a massive threat to the World Championship. How can you do that if you're losing matches? But when I thought about this long and hard, I came to the realization that probably Ty Dillinger needs this a little bit more. And that does not necessarily mean that Ty Dillinger gets the pinfall victory or even the submission victory, but it's just a victory. So Ty Dillinger can win by countout, he can win by disqualification, or even pinfall or submission. So I'm picking Ty Dillinger to pick up a huge victory over Eric Young. But I do not think that Eric Young is going to just let that be the feud. I think that Eric Young's going to come back stronger than ever, and I think he's going to win at any cost and every cost possible with that wheelbarrow neckbreaker move. Okay, so next, match number 3 on the card is Asuka. Asuka is defending her NXT Women's Championship against 3 foes: Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, and Billie Kay. In my opinion, the women's division in NXT is not as good as it once was. Some of the competitors in this match are not nearly as good as some of the ones that used to be in the rankings, such as a Sasha Banks or a Bayley or even Charlotte Flair. They're not near as good. Now, Billie Kay has the potential of being a star in the future, but right now the star is the Japanese sensation. And she is unstoppable, untamable, and she's going to kick her way into victory. I see her winning this match. Asuka is just like Tajiri in my eyes, in my estimation, just like Ultimo Dragon, just like Jushin Thunder Liger, viewed by many as an underdog, but is a top competitor. And when she does lose that title, I want her to lose the championship to someone that is worthy. Nikki Cross can be a threat. Nikki Cross is a threat. But the other two, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, they're not threats in my eyes. They need more growth, more development before they get that championship or become anything special in NXT. Right now, they're lackluster. Their development is really low. I'm not fans of them. But Billie Kay is a warrior, and she's a psychotic warrior at that. So I could definitely, if the title just changed hands, I could see Nikki Cross becoming the champion. But I think it's too early for her to become champion. But it would establish Sanity as a good, solid group. But I think Eric Young needs to be the guy from that group to hold a singles championship rather than her. She's not the leader. So I pick Asuka to retain the championship by pinning either Billie Kay or Peyton Royce because, well, Nikki Cross could be a champion. So you might as well give her a one-on-one title shot in the future. But right now, it's just too early for her to win the belt. Next match, we got hashtag DIY Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa taking on the number 1 contenders, the Authors of Pain, which is Razor and Akeem. So you got the Authors of Pain, who are basically a destruction, dynamite type of team. They go out there and they conquer, and they develop good offense with their legendary manager, Paul Etherington. These 2 tag teams have fought before. They've had decent matches and decent encounters before, but I don't really have much faith in the Authors of Pain being the tag team champions right now. Now, it makes perfect sense for them to go out there and conquer and devour their opponents just in a matter of seconds and claim to the world that they are the future of the tag team division. But I think this feud needs to be a little bit longer. See, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano just captured these tag team titles, and I think it would only be suiting and the best for business if they retain these tag team championships. They've actually beaten the Authors of Pain before, and I can possibly see a triple threat match happen in the near future. See, the Revival originally were going to go against TM61 in a feud. But one of the members, I believe Shane Thorne, he got injured. He got hurt. He blew out his knee, and now he has to require surgery. So in doing so, I have to go with the probability and the theory that in a matter of time, it's going to be the tag team champions DIY defending the belts not only against the Revival, but also the Authors of Pain in a triple threat match. That match will probably be a little more interesting, a little more unpredictable, because the Authors of Pain are this cunning, big, brass tag team that need to hold the tag team championships before they get called up, most certainly. However, the Revival, even though they're not the tag team champions, they should still be relevant in the tag team title feud in some kind of occurrence. Okay. But I think in this contest, I think Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa need to retain the belts. And I actually would say that they need to win the belts by submission. By submission. And they need to do that in the most predictable or the most unpredictable way possible. My words formatted tonight. And match number 1. And this is not going to be the final match that I talk about, because I'm going to talk about some other matches after this that are matches that I possibly could see them happening. They could possibly see them book them because there's only 5 matches currently announced for the pay-per-view, so there could be possible 2 more matches added to the card. So we got Shinsuke Nakamura, the champion, taking on Bobby Roode for the NXT World Championship. This match is probably going to be another show-stealing performance. You got 2 guys in here that are top-notch performers. Bobby Roode is he's the oldest guy in the NXT locker room, I believe. Shinsuke Nakamura is one of the most talented individuals from New Japan Pro Wrestling, a former 5-time IWGP Intercontinental Champion, and now he's a 2-time NXT World Champion. Fantastic athlete, and he's taken on Bobby Roode, who's been a champion everywhere he's been. So can Bobby Roode unseat Shinsuke Nakamura? That's a good theory. That Bobby Roode, because Bobby Roode's been on this tear, he's been on a roll, and it would be suiting for him to just walk in and walk out of champ. But I'm going to stick to my probability and say that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to retain the NXT World Championship against Bobby Roode. I do not think that this is going to be the only match that these 2 guys have. I think they're going to have plenty of other matches, and I think Bobby Roode eventually will be the champion of NXT. But I don't think it's going to be right now. I don't think it's going to be at San Antonio, Texas, because it's just too early. You need to develop his character more. You need to make him more of a heel that people hate. Because right now they love him. Some people love him. They want to sing his music. They want to sing his theme. They want to make him an honorable person in the locker room that people, like, that people enjoy. So I picked Shinsuke Nakamura already. Now to recap what I picked. So I picked Roderick Strong to defeat CN. I picked Ty Dillinger to knock off Eric Young. I picked Asuka to retain her NXT Women's Championship. I picked DIY to defeat the Authors of Pain. And I picked Shinsuke Nakamura to defeat Bobby Roode. Something that I just noticed was that I picked all babyfaces to win. That's most likely not going to happen. most likely WWE is probably going to want a couple heels to win. So I could definitely see Eric Young winning, or I could see the Authors of Pain winning, or even Bobby Roode winning, because you got to switch things up a little bit. Now let's get into the two matches that I think should happen. So originally TM61 were supposed to have a feud with the Revival. And, you know, the Revival and the storyline and story purpose was the actual team that put out Shane Thorne. So I'd have the other member of TM61 take on either member of the Revival. Reason why is because it gives added interest to this feud, and it can also burn off stamina for where the fans were expecting these two teams to go at it. You could have one member of both teams duke it out and end this feud once and for all. And then the Revival can go into a tag team title feud, and the other member can, I guess, just disappear off TV for a while, unless WWE has something else planned for him. The second extra match that I see is Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is a guy who is a former two-time NXT World Champion. And he really, after his little situation with Shinsuke Nakamura happened, he just sort of fell out of contention with the championship. And I mean, I agree with that, because you got to give other people like Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger and Eric Young and others opportunities, right? While not the same grasp of that whole situation, I would like to see Samoa Joe kick off the event by coming to the ring and calling out any superstar to come out there and fight him. The reason why is because Samoa Joe is an unpredictable athlete, and you never know what to expect from him. So me personally, I would either have No Way Jose accept the challenge, which if it was a No Way Jose, I wouldn't have the match go too long, because I'm not a huge fan of No Way Jose at all. Only Larson, I would have him. His name, he was formerly off the Independents in CCW as Biff Busick. So I'd have Biff Busick go out there, accept the challenge. I would have Biff Busick lose, but I would have Biff Busick get a lot of momentum and, you know, make the match very unpredictable, I guess. After the match, I would have something different happen, where Samoa Joe and Biff Busick shake hands, where Samoa Joe lifts out his hand for Biff Busick to shake, because Biff Busick has earned Samoa Joe's respect by putting on one hellacious match. This will go forward into Biff Busick becoming more of a regular character on WWE programming. So only Larson, aka Biff Busick, versus Samoa Joe in an impromptu match for NXT TakeOver San Antonio. So anyways, that is my predictions for NXT TakeOver. In the comment section below, just tell me what you think about that. Nobody responded in the chat room this time. There's only been one viewer watching the whole entire time. So thanks for watching. Until next time, be extreme, stay extreme, and I will talk to you all very soon. Rudy. You guys have a wonderful evening.